So the word that I keep seeing be repeated now is stress. Consumer stress, financial stress, market stress. Proctor Gamble was out today in a story on Wall Street Journal saying consumers are under stress. The company behind brands like Tide, Charmin, and Pantene, right, staple items, says it's seeing signs of slower spending across its product categories. Long a bellwether for the health, or lack thereof, I would add, of the U.S. consumer economy, says American shoppers are slowing down. Consumers are using up their pantry inventory, delaying purchases, and shopping at stores less frequently to avoid the temptation to buy things they don't immediately need, according to P&G's chief financial officer. I did see that the stock market closed down today, about 230 points on the Dow. The big story I think today, not getting a lot of coverage, is that the 10-year bond yield dropped almost 10 basis points. Pretty substantial drop. So we all know there's going to be no rate cut at the meeting here, the Fed meeting, I guess we'll hear tomorrow. September is in the discussion, but it's very unlikely anything happens tomorrow. So the rates aren't dropping on that. So you've got a bit of a flight to safety. You've got some uncertainty in the markets, but you also have this softening of the economy. I saw something came in that first quarter GDP was revised downward. So here's the second article I saw out of Kitco News. This was from later yesterday in the day. It's entitled, "Wall Street Thrives While Main Street Struggles." Right, a common theme we've discussed on this show many, many times. Financial stress index soars to pandemic-era levels. And this was an article, they interviewed one of the officers from Legal Shield. Legal Shield is like one of those prepaid legal programs where people can pay a flat monthly fee depending on the package they buy, and they have certain levels of access to attorneys, right, in the event that they get into legal problems. And so, Legal Shield keeps records of the let's say the calls, obviously the contacts that come in from people regarding what the issues are. And so what they're getting is this real-time data feedback from people that are encountering stress, legal problems, things of that nature. So let me read the article to you again out of Kitco News. It says, while Wall Street boasts a resilient economy backed by strong corporate earnings and a bullish stock market, everyday Americans are grappling with rising debt and financial stress, now at its highest level in 5 years, according to new data from Legal Shield. Legal Shield, a legal services company that provides Americans with access to legal advice, counsel, protection, and representation, said its second quarter consumer stress legal index, they call it the CSLI, increased by 4.4%, driven by surging foreclosures and consumer finance legal inquiries, all rooted in increased debt. The report specifically highlights growing concern in the housing market as consumers struggle to make their monthly mortgage payments. We covered that on a show about a week and a half ago, how people are missing mortgage payments now. They're underwater, falling behind. Go check out those shows from last week if you didn't see them. Legal Shield's foreclosure index jumped 13.3% during the quarter and is now nearly 28.9% higher than a year ago, marking the steepest annual increase in 3 years. Alongside the rise in foreclosures, another red flag is emerging. Consumer finance inquiries have surged 8.7%. In an interview, it says, with Kitco News, Matt Layton, Senior VP of Consumer Analytics at Legal Shield, said the index has risen to its highest level since November of 2020, when the U.S. and global economies were shut down during the pandemic. This guy warned that CSLI's surge could signal deeper troubles ahead. Government data, he says, and the reporting are lagging indicators. But we believe we're a leading indicator because on a day-to-day basis, we're hearing from people today who have an issue they need help with immediately. He says he expects government data in the next couple of weeks to show a sharp rise in consumer debt levels. In a report published in May, the New York Federal Reserve said aggregate on nominal household debt balances increased by $167 billion with a B in the first quarter of 2025, and that's a 0.9% rise or increase from the fourth quarter of 2024. And he says, while housing market is a critical sector of the economy, the rise in credit instruments such as buy now, pay later plans, we did a show on that a few days ago, is also contributing to higher household financial stress. And he said that what differentiates today's environment from that at the start of the pandemic is that there appears to be no sign of the trend reversing now. So he says, our data doesn't suggest there's any improvement on the horizon, and we see continued steps toward increased financial stress. Some market analysts have said that growing economic concerns are likely to sustain uncertainty as consumers face difficult headwinds. So that's what's going on, okay? I don't want to go too long on that topic, but it's just the reality. And again, when you're looking at, stock market metrics, earnings, things of that nature. Now, I did see 2 earnings reports come in this afternoon. Starbucks missed on their same store sales. Those declined. And also, I believe Spotify. Spotify is down after hours, massive, because they missed their revenues. So again, Spotify, music streaming, and Starbucks coffee, they both missed. Again, it's mixed information. I think Starbucks is actually up after hours. Go look at that stuff for yourself. But again, consumer type products, right? Let me close by saying this. I did a video. I've done several videos on how important I believe it is. And again, as an attorney who does this stuff, a portion of it is part of my practice to have your estate plan in order. I just last night received an email from LegalZoom. I am an affiliate with them. I've said repeatedly on the shows, if you can afford to hire counsel to do certain things, prepare documents, certainly including estate planning documents, wills, trusts, powers of attorney, things of that nature, by all means do that, okay? But if you cannot, it doesn't mean you should be neglecting it. Having even a simple will in place to protect your estate and your family, and certainly if you own a home, okay, to have a trust in place so that your home can transfer upon your demise, right, without hassle, without extra expense, without lawyers, to your beneficiaries is so important, okay? Again, law is different from state to state, but you've got to have a succession plan in place. I think it's just part of being a responsible family, head of household, whatever your role might be. So, evidently, LegalZoom is calling August Make a Will Month, okay? National Make a Will Month. I don't know if that's just LegalZoom or if that is something bigger than that. But what they're doing is they're offering the discounts on products, okay? Individual products like powers of attorney, healthcare directives like 10%, on larger estate plan packages like 20% discounts, so meaningful discounts. So you guys, again, check out my link below. It's my affiliate link. If you are looking to get that stuff in place, if you haven't done it, maybe now is the time to make that effort and get it done. Again, if you can hire a lawyer to do it, fine. If you cannot, maybe this is an alternative for you now, okay? Especially when money's tight. So take a look at it and see if that is something that could be useful to you I've done several videos on why it's important to have an estate plan in place. I have so many nightmares throughout the years. People come in my office where this stuff wasn't put in place beforehand. It results in legal fights, family fights, broken relationships, extra costs, extra stress. So it all can be avoided if you just do a little bit of due diligence and paperwork ahead of time. Okay, so again, check that out if you want to. And let's see how the markets react tomorrow once we get the rate decision, okay, out of the Fed. Let's be diligent. Appreciate you guys supporting the channel. If you like the content, do me a favor and hit the like button for me. If you're not subscribed, I would ask that you subscribe to the channel so we keep growing the community. And as always, please leave your thoughts and comments. I do read them. And with that being said, I will talk to all of you soon. Bye.